The Goodreads Choice Award opening round just opened. I haven't looked. I'm a little nervous, but this video is going to be all about the ones that I'm seeing, the books that I'm seeing for each category, and more importantly, the books I am planning on voting for, and then we'll be able to discuss whenever the winners are out and debate if we agree or not. I'm going to be honest, I feel like the Goodreads Choice Award has been very hit and miss. I don't always agree with the winners, especially in certain categories, which we'll discuss. And yeah, just, you know, a little chit chat, having fun. Let's rave about some books and complain about others because why not? So the first category is fiction. So we are seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 20 books, which we used to be able to add books to the nominees, and I think we can't. Last year was the same. You can't add another one. So are these the official 20 that are like the nominees? If so, I'm a little sad because I haven't looked, but I already feel like some of the ones that I would want to vote for are not going to be there. Specifically fantasy, I'm really hoping the one I'm thinking is going to be there. So fiction. Fiction is not my main genre, but I do like to read a handful every year. Do I always keep up with the newest release? Not really. So let's see how many I have read out of the 20. I have read 1. Okay, not super surprising to be honest. The one I have read is Yellowface by R.F. That one was kind of controversial when it came out. I feel like a lot of people really love it. Some people really hated it. I'm kind of in between. I really liked the beginning and then I lost interest a little bit and then I've heard things about it. So I'm feeling a bit about it overall. It's probably a 3 point something for me. Not a bad book, but I'm not planning on voting for it because again, I didn't feel strongly enough to vote for it, especially since I have read nothing else on the list. Not that it stops people ever, but I feel like if I had loved it, I would have voted for it, even though it's the only one. But I do think Yellowface is going to be the winner, though, because there are a few books that I've been seeing going around, but the only one that I own is, I think it's Mame, which is really, really pretty. I just bought this, and I bought it for the cover because I'm doing a challenge with that. And the other one that I wanted to read is Tom Lake. I haven't read anything by the author, and I have heard that this one is narrated by Meryl Streep, and I wanted to give it a shot. That would totally be because of the cover, okay? It is part of the Reese Witherspoon book club, which is probably why I would pick it up to see if I like the book club or not, but that cover is so pretty. I don't usually buy books based on the cover, but that one I would be thinking about it. But I'll probably try the audiobook because, again, my library most likely has it, and narration by Meryl Streep. So let's click the next category, which is historical fiction. Once again, not my main genre. I feel like I only read a handful a year, and as long as they're not World War II. I've mentioned before, I'm so over it. I feel like I've read too many. So out of the 20, I have read 1, and that's kind of stretching it. I tried Wayward, and I DNF'd it, so I did not finish it. I put it down at 18% because I wasn't feeling it, and I'm really trying to learn to put down books when I'm not enjoying it. Because often, and like the majority of the time, you don't end up loving it if you don't love it pretty early on. So yeah, I didn't finish it, so I can't vote for anything. But I wouldn't be voting for it either. So that's a short category. Next one, mystery thriller. Okay, this is where I usually have beef with Goodreads. I think I like mystery thrillers, but I feel like the majority of the time when I read the newest release that are popular on Goodreads, I hate them. And like I say, like 90% of the time I hate them. But I feel like I keep reading them because that 10%, you know, I really like them, at least the concept of them, but I haven't found that many new favorites like in forever. So I don't want, like I literally refuse to admit to myself that maybe the genre is not for me because again, when you find a good one, they're so good. It just doesn't happen often enough. So yeah, out of the 20, how many have I read? Did I read that one? No, I just thought about reading it. Ooh, that is... I have read 1. Anything else? I have read 1. Okay, I read All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. This is my 3rd book by the author, and it was okay. I really loved Reasonably Tears. See, perfect example. Love that one. Can't recommend it enough. But I didn't care for Blacktop Wasteland by him, and then I wanted to try, you know, one last one, and I think it's going to be my last by him. It's better than the 2nd book, but not nearly as good as the first one that I've read by him. So, I have a couple books that I do want to read, like Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. That one was one of the ones that were recommended by you for me to read, so I'll probably pick that up. I do have What Lies in the Woods on my shelf. All the Dangerous Things, I thought I had read it. I had to double check. Nope, I just thought about reading it, so there's that. Other ones, I do have Bright Young Women also on my shelf. I think it's because at this point I have tried quite a few authors that are on this list that were really popular on Goodreads, and I've realized that they're not for me. Like Karen Slaughter, I cannot. It's a really unpopular opinion, I'm aware, but I find her books too sexually violent for me. I never thought I would find books triggering, but her, I just can't do it. And I think it's Alice Feeney. I tried a couple of her books and I just can never finish them, so that's not going well. And The Only One by Riley Sager, I said that I will never read anything else by him, so I will stand by that and not read that. And that's kind of where I'm at. I do want to try some Frida McFadden. This is the second book, though, in that series. So I'm planning on trying the first one, but that's going to be it. Otherwise, Lisa Jewell is also an author. I've said never again. And Richard Osman, I've tried the first two books. Is it the first two books in this series? This is the fourth one, and I'm not going to continue. No Hard Feelings, though. I just really thought I was going to love them more than I did, and No Hard Feelings. That one is definitely just not for me. That's it. So yeah, not that exciting for me for a category. There are only two books that I really want to read. Oh, I might try the new Angie Kim because I read Miracle Creek and liked it. So Happiness Falls might be a thing that I should try. But yeah, I'm not super excited about the nominees. What about you? Have you read anything in that category that you think everyone else should read so I can add it to my TBR? Otherwise, I kind of am over not liking the recommendations I get from that category, you know? So yeah, I think the winner for Best Mystery Thriller is going to be either The Housemaid's Secret, so the follow-up to The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I think that the book one was super popular, so I can see that one winning. I would have said Riley Sager might be pretty up there too, but it does have half the rating. So I feel like the Frida ones tend to be part of like book clubs, so I feel like that makes more people read it, so obviously more people will vote for it. Romance. I don't read a ton of romances, but I'm hoping. I started slowly reading a couple and I have enjoyed some, so I'm trying to try more of them. So out of the 20, I have read one, and it's Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is unfortunately not my favorite book by her. I really enjoyed Beach Read and Book Lovers by her, but was kind of feeling meh about Happy Place and People We Meet on Vacation. So I'll probably still try the one that she will come out with in 2024, but that one is not something I'm going to vote for, and I haven't read anything else on that list, so if there's anything you think I should try, let me know, but I haven't heard of any, to be honest, but I don't. Okay, see, this is the proof that I did not check before, because they added a combo romance fantasy. Romantasy. Oh, people are going to be so happy, because one of my biggest complaints about fantasy, the category, is that it is always won by like Sarah J Maas because everyone loves her. I tried like 5 of her books and it's not for me, but they always win and it's just not fair. So okay, let's click on the category. People are gonna be so happy. Oh my gosh. Okay, I am seeing a lot of books there. I haven't read. Oh, I have read Fourth Wing. I am not planning on continuing. I feel like people went really hard on hating it, and it's very mediocre. It's super readable. I think this is the pro. The dragons are cool, but the author is not great. There were definitely a lot of plot twists and like very convenient things happen throughout the whole book, but I haven't really heard of anything else. I've seen Assistant to the Villain quite a few times, like the cover, but I know nothing else pretty much. So let me know if there's anything I should pick. I'm also not sure which one is going to win in that category, but I'm going to say Fourth Wing because there's like 700,000 ratings on that one specifically. So let's move on to fantasy, because if I don't see, I'm not even checking yet, if I don't see this book on there, I will be Oh my gosh, almost threw that away. Okay, if I don't see that book there, I'm gonna cry because this is the one I really want to vote for. So let's check the 20 nominees. And I'm gonna cry, it's not there. Ah, that book. I am telling you, I'm making it my mission that everyone needs to read this. Okay, I'm gonna like rave about this until all of you read it. I'm so sad it's not there. It is by far the best book I have read this year. Okay, let's look at the nominees that I have read. I have read Bookshops and Bone Dust. It was good. This is a prequel to Legends and Lattes, but I feel like Legends and Lattes was better. So this was just good. What else have I read? I have read Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Very strong Princess Bride vibes. Not really my thing, but it was fine. I have also read The Adventures of Amina At-Sirafi, which was also good, but not a favorite. I have read A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon, which I think is going to be the one I vote for because this was the prequel to The Priory of the Orange Tree. Fantastic. Yes, you can read this before the other one. I've been asked so many times. Yes, you can. Listen, out of all of the ones I'm mentioning, this is by far the best one. Loved it. And again, I think this is going to be the one I vote for because giant dragons, magic, adult fantasy, obviously, standalone, even though there's 2 books, but you know. So this was really, really good. And the other one I'm seeing that I have read is The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. I have mixed feeling about this whole universe because I find the magic system interesting, the world building. There are like 4 Londons and very few people have the magical powers to travel between them. And most people might be able to use one type of magic, so fire, wind, water, blah, blah. But some people can use all of them and like more than that. And this is like the continuation to the Shades of Magic trilogy. And it took me a little while to get into it, but I really like one of the new characters that is in there. I feel like she has really interesting magical powers. Seeing the threads of powers, but I hate some of the characters from book 1 or the first series that are still in there. So I have mixed feelings, but I overall did enjoy it. I will be continuing the series, but I'm not voting for this. So yeah, it looks like I'm voting for A Day of Fallen Night, which not super surprising because it will make it to my best books of the year. But may I continue raving about this? This is an adult fantasy standalone book and it came out in 2023. And I feel like if you had read all 20 of these, you don't even need to, but if you had read all 20 of these and this one, I can guarantee the majority of you would be voting for this one. Like, no competition. So I'm very sad and kind of angry that we can't vote for it, but whatever. So it looks like I'm voting for A Day of Fallen Night. Voted. Done. I don't feel like I've ever seen this category with so few rated books. Like, I don't feel like any of them have more than like 100,000 ratings. So definitely on the lower side. I feel like the ones that are part of like series, unless it's a really, really popular series, it's harder to have enough people vote for it to win. Like Cassandra Clare is on there, but the book doesn't have many ratings, so I don't think it's gonna win. I would like to see the one I voted for win, obviously, but again, it only has like 20,000 ratings. Brandon Sanderson might win just because people will vote for that one because it's him. It does have almost 75,000 ratings, but I think that's going to be my expectation. I don't want it to win because I felt so mad about it, but unless it's Hellbent, just because Leigh Bardugo. I feel like it sounds so mean saying that, but I felt so mad about the first book. I do have a second book on my shelf. I do want to get to it eventually, but I do feel like that's usually the main complaint for people with this whole award. It's a popularity contest, so I feel like it's going to be Sanderson or Bardugo. So sci-fi, my other favorite category. We're hoping I can vote. I've only voted once so far, not good, but sci-fi I should be able to. So let's look at the 20 nominees. I have read one. Oh, this is bad. One. I've only read one. Oh my god, this is the second year that I haven't read many, if any, in the sci-fi category, which is weird because it's usually my main genre or top 2, and I just haven't. That sucks. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna check if any of these I want to read because in the fantasy I didn't really see anything, which again, feel free to vote, let me know. Usually I'll look for that whenever they have the official winners, but I've only read Children of Memory by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is the third book in the Children of Time series. I adore Children of Time. I've raved about it so many times. This is like a first contact with aliens kind of series. It's the remnant of humanity against giant intelligent spiders. It is weird, but in a really good way. Book 1 was fantastic. The ending, so good. But after that, I felt like, and that's kind of how I feel about this one. It does have one of my favorite tropes-ish in there, but I feel like it was kind of, my interest went up and down throughout the book. So not a bad book, just don't feel the want to vote for it. That sounds mean, but yeah. And the rest, I haven't really heard of most of them. System Collapse, that's another book in the Murderbot series, which I am done. I've tried too many times. I like the first book, but I kind of just, again, went up and down throughout the series after that. I'm seeing authors I've tried before, like Justin Cronin, not planning on reading more by him. Pierce Brown, not planning on reading more by him. James Caldzy, I actually do want to try more by him, but I have some on my shelf, so I don't know if I'm going to pick up this one specifically. Start a Villain, which there is a cat on the cover, though, which is tempting, but... I haven't tried yet any Anne Leckie, but again, I have a trilogy by her on my shelf. What else am I seeing that I want to pick up? I Keep My Exoskeletons to Myself. That's a cool title. I'm interested. Ooh, I have read another book by Naomi Alderman. I don't know if I want to check out The Future. Have you tried it? Is it worth it? That sounds pretty interesting, actually, the I Keep My Exoskeletons to Myself. So I'm gonna add that to my want to read shelf, and I'll check it out next year. So at least, listen, not exciting to not be able to vote, but exciting to find a book that sounds interesting. Okay, horror. How many have I read? I don't read a ton of horror, but I have read one, which was Lone Women. I really wanted to try more by the author. This one wasn't as good as The Ballad of Black Tom that I read by him years ago, but I do have The Changeling on my shelf, or on my library waiting list. So I'll check that out and see how I feel. But this one was kind of a disappointment. I feel like it started really strong, but I lost interest. As soon as like part 2 started, I just really lost interest. But not bad if you like horror, you might want to check it out. I haven't read anything else or heard of anything else except Holly by Stephen King, which I did like the character in the other series by him, but I don't think I'm gonna add that to my TBR. I'm not really the biggest Stephen King fan. I'm also seeing How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Let me know if that one is good. I do want to read more by him after reading the one with my best friend, Exorcism, so I'm going to read more by him. I don't know if that's going to be the one I pick out, though. Let's check young adult just in case. So this is the fantasy and science fiction section. Have I read any? No. No, okay. Just fiction in general? No. Okay, not surprising there. Debut novel. Have I read anything? Nope. There's only Wayward, which I said I couldn't finish. So let's look nonfiction. I have been reading more nonfiction, but I don't think I've read anything that recent, so... Oh, only one. It's the one about butts, of course. I'm going to be doing a video where I review all the nonfictions that I've read in last year, and that one is going to be in there. It's like a very unserious kind of topic, but I feel like the author goes for it, and it's like subcategories all about butts and like historical section, and like it's fun. I would recommend it as an audiobook if that's your thing. It's just, I like to try to find nonfictions that are like intro on certain topics, and then when you find one you really like, you can go more in depth. But this was fun. Like, I feel like nonfiction doesn't have to be boring and like very academic, so not bad. I'm not seeing anything that I already wanted to read, so if there's anything on here that you think I would enjoy or you have enjoyed, let us know in the comment section. But they used to have way more categories for nonfiction. They had like a science one, which I really like to get suggestion from, and they removed it, so that sucks. But now we have romantasy. Okay, so the best memoir, I highly doubt I have read anything. No, I don't really read memoirs. I rarely care enough, but I know a lot of people have read the Britney Spears one, saying it was really good, so I'm assuming that's going to be the winner. Best history and biography. I rarely ever read anything in that category, so I would be shocked if I had read. No, I haven't. So, oh, I do see the man that I will not name on that category, so I'm assuming he's gonna win because people on the internet are feral for him. So up is so I'm assuming he's gonna win, so we're gonna just move on. The last category is humor. Where are the middle grade section? So many categories have been changing the last couple of years. Okay, humor, I usually don't read a ton of those either. And yeah, I haven't read any. Okay, I feel like this year it's a bit lackluster. I expected better. I only voted once. That's insane. This is the second year that I feel really meh about this whole award, to be honest. I'm excited that there's a new category specifically for like romance, fantasy romance. I think that's gonna make things more interesting, but I don't think there are enough nominees this year that I'm happy about to be super excited about it. So I don't think that I'm gonna do my Goodreads Choice Award in 2024. This year I'm doing it, but like I really didn't try that much. I'll just do it to talk about the books that I think are worth it from the nominees and the winners from the year prior. I really don't think I'm gonna do it at all for 2024. I'm not really excited about any of these. I might read like one or two if they're popular and like really high in the ratings. I'm gonna be curious to try them, but so yeah, for me, this is a complete flop. I'm really sad that Blood Over Bright Heaven is not in the fantasy category. So do yourself a service and actually read it because it's so good. It is so, so good. But yeah, everything else, meh. So what about you? Have you read many of the nominees? Have you voted? Which one are you voting for? I want to know. And are you planning on also doing, you know, the Goodreads Choice Award I was doing, like trying to read many of the nominees to see which ones you should have voted for? And that's it. Thumbs up, subscribe, more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out. And I will see you in a coming, hopefully more exciting video. Bye.